Hi everyone. So I previously done videos on tips for navigating your divorce from a legal perspective, an emotional, mental perspective, and also navigating your new life path reality. And today's video is all around co-parenting tips. So if co-parenting is something in your realm, buckle in because we're going to hit these tips. I'm Athena, and I'm a life coach that helps men and women navigate their divorce so they can reinvent themselves in a healthy way. So the first tip I'm going to give you is figure out what your new communication needs to be with your partner or your ex-partner, right? So for example, you primarily operated with them where you were talking every day to them. Well, now in your new reality, you don't need to talk to them every day. Not only do you not need to verbally talk to them, you can change your communication from verbal to written. In fact, I actually prefer that because if you're actually still going through the divorce, then from a legal perspective, if it's contentious in any way, changing that mechanism over into written helps solve a lot of problems. Now, the other person in the equation may not be happy with that. They may want to still do the verbal communication with you. They may still want to speak with you every day, even on a topic. That doesn't mean that you have to. You don't have to respond in the way that they want you to respond just because that's what they want, okay? That's all about new lines of communication and putting boundaries and parameters in place that work for you, okay? Because this is now about your mental health and well-being, right? Co-parenting is not that, well, we're still gonna talk every day. That's actually not how it works. But some people aren't ready to let go of that. I even recently was reading, one of the Reddit threads where, a ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife literally followed her, children's father around the gymnasium while their kid was at their event, keep trying to talk to him about stuff while he's just simply trying to, watch the kids, play and be calm. And everybody else is sitting there watching like what's going down between this two couple. Kind of really not good. So communication boundaries, what are those? How do you want to implement them? What do you want to do? What do you not want to do? Okay. The second thing, speaking of boundaries, is you have to figure out what are your new boundaries. All right. What are your new boundaries with this person? What are you okay with? What are you not okay with? You may not even know what those boundaries are until they cross a line and you realize, oh, that's a boundary for me and I need to make that clear. Now, boundaries can be communicated either communicated or not communicated. Some boundaries don't need to be communicated. You just need to be like, this is a boundary and I'm going to set it here and then I'm going to hold the line on that boundary regardless of whether they do or not. Others need to be communicated. All right. So figure out which ones need to and which ones don't. And the important thing about the boundaries is you're figuring out the new you. You're figuring out what is healthy for you, what works for you. So figure out what your boundaries are. Now, the third thing on co-parenting, all right? Let's say you have the schedule, right? Your parenting time schedule, or maybe it's still in flux and it's not permanent. Doesn't matter, okay? Be willing to be fluid from time to time on that parenting schedule because, to be honest, life happens. Shit happens, all right? And what you're going to find is that when you are locked into a parenting schedule, everything is now rigid. Okay, there's not the free-flowing movement of, oh, I want to take the kids here. Oh, wait, it's on so-and-so's day. Okay, well, do they have it on my day? Oh, they don't have it on my day. There are some things you're going to have to give up doing because you don't have your kids on the day. And then there are some things that you may say, you know what? I wonder if the other parent would do an exception for this, all right? There are other things as far as what happens when somebody dies. Are you going to be the parent that's a dick when, somebody on the other side of the family dies and you're not going to let your kid go to the funeral because, well, it's on your day, not theirs? Don't be that guy, okay? Just don't be that person, all right? Understand that there are times that life happens and you need to be a little fluid, all right? However, this leads me into tip number 4, all right? Fairness is your friend, all right? Now, when I said be fluid, I meant, be fluid if the situation allows for it, okay? If it's something where the other parent wants to, take the kid that, and it's on your day, they want to take a day, off of your side. Look, the bottom line there is if they want to take something away from you, they need to be able to give up a day as well, that you get back somewhere, that you can parent somewhere and say, I want to use this day somewhere else. Fair is fair, okay? A parent doesn't get to just take a kid on a day because they want to, or they asked you and you said yes. You should get something back, all right? But being fluid allows you to kind of be fluid on that schedule. And the other thing I will tell you is this. If you're co-parenting, you're in this for years, all right? And that means that you can't see the future. You don't know what's going to come up on your end where you're going to find a moment that you really want or need the other parent to be flexible for you for something that's going on in your life. And if you were not flexible before for them, they're going to come back to you in that moment and be like, nope. And you may get mad and they're going to be like, look, I wanted to take the kid here, here, and here, and you said no. And so if this is how we're going to operate, then I'm telling you no. So if you step back and you allow yourself a little bit of fluidity, that can go a long way as far as making the relationship over time and the co-parenting aspect a lot easier. Now, I am going to caveat that with one thing. If you find that the other parent seems to be doing that a lot, okay? Like every month or something, every month. That's something you just say, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of here, okay? And you need to find your moments where you're going to say no. In my situation, I will tell you that 9 times out of 10, I'm like, sure, it's not a big deal. You know, I'll get a day back, not a big deal. But that 1 time out of 10 usually still catches my ex by surprise. And he's always surprised when I'm like, no. What? Because I said yes 9 times before, okay? But that 1 time, I have a reason, you know, and it doesn't even matter how super important that reason is. It's my reason. It's what I want. And this is the time that I have with my kid. And so today it's a no. All right. So always make sure that, you know, you're kind of being fluid when the time allows for it. And then obviously the times when you say, no, I'm going to keep this time. It's okay to be assertive and say, not this time. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is kid swaps. All right. So kid swaps. Here's my tip. Make them quick and discuss just the facts. All right. It's not the time that you do the powwow or you're going to talk for an hour or anything like that. All right. Make them quick. Make sure it's all about telling your kids, have a good time with your mom, have a good time with your dad, whoever they're going to. Tell them that you love them, you know, hug and a kiss and goodbye, right? And then, you know, do a quick little facts update, you know, with your significant other. Yeah, it could be either right then and there, or you can send a text. You know, this week, little Susie, you know, she wasn't feeling good on Thursday, but you know, I kept her home from school, but then Friday she seemed fine. You know, Josie, you know, missed his, you know, soccer practice this week because he had a dentist appointment, you know, whatever it may be. You know, give them the facts so that they know this is what happened while they were in my care, right? That way it also allows you to give a little bit of information so that the co-parenting within the silo parenting still exists. And just in case you wonder what I mean by silo parenting, I don't actually view co-parenting as co-parenting. I feel like that is the legal term to make it sound nice, but the reality is what you're doing, you're going to silo parent, okay? Children come into your silo and you do the stuff in your world, right? It's your rules, your way of doing things, etc. And those decisions are all up to you, okay? What they eat, where you go, when they go to bed, what they watch, what they don't watch, what games they play, what friends they go over to, do they go to church, do they not go to church, etc. Okay? And the other person doesn't get to say or dictate what happens in your home. Just like you don't get to dictate the rules in their home. So for me, I'd say it's silo parenting is really what you're going to do. Now, the next thing we go into is romantic relationships post-divorce. It's not a competition. It may feel like it, and it may even feel like the other person is trying to rub it in your face or look at me, I moved on, or whatever the case. It's not a competition. Let them do them and you do you, okay? If you want to date, great, date. If you don't want to date, don't date. If they want to date and get married, okay. They might be divorced in 3 years. You know, you may be laughing, who knows? Okay, but it's not a competition, right? So those are my basic tips for navigating as far as co-parenting. Obviously, I could talk about the co-parenting realm for hours in different situations, so a lot more to come on that. But if you like this video, please like it, hit subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna do a lot more stuff on divorce help, and otherwise you can follow me on Instagram for my daily posts. And otherwise, if you're interested in life coaching to help you navigate your divorce, reach out to me on my website, talktopalace.com, and book a call with me, and we'll get you started on the path.